Good day to the nation. I'm Vin Robinson, and this is the Coast to Coast Sports Show. You're watching the Coast to Coast Sports Show. I'd like to start today's program off by saying thank you. Thank you to the nation. You guys been following us for the past little while, and we've been noticing a spike and increase in our website traffic. This is all due to the love that you've been providing to us for our various sports. So we just want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much. In order to continue what we've started, log on to coasttocoastsports.net. Terrific opportunity for us to be able to get footage on your team and perhaps upcoming season when the pandemic lifts. So make sure to follow us, like us on Facebook, give us support, and we'll make sure to give you ours. Show us your game. We're looking for teams in various leagues to contact Coast to Coast Sports, requesting us to review pre-recorded games via YouTube. Games of merit will be repackaged and broadcast on coasttocoastsports.net. If the game is amazing, we will take that same podcast and broadcast it for the nation to see on TV. Simply provide permission to download YouTube links of games that were previously recorded. That's it. Get involved.
Today's program brought to you by Eliminator RC. Proud to be part of your community.
Welcome back to our show. Last week we left you off with some action from the National Basketball League of Canada. It's fabulous. We got this in our own backyard, and we definitely need to continue to check out that action that's hitting the hardwood. Today we're going to be leading off with a little bit more of that. So check out this clip from the National Basketball League of Canada.
It's time once again for NBL Canada this week. How you doing, basketball fans? This is Aaron Sanders, your host once again, as we take a look at this past week's action here in the National Basketball League of Canada. On today's show, 3 quick game recaps, an in-depth look at Carl English retirement ceremony, the players of the week, and of course, the fan favorite, NBLC cuts. But let's kick things off with what happened on February 20th. It was the St. John's Edge who went to the auditorium to play against the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. The Titans were able to prevail over the Edge. So for more on that, here's Ian Jodry with a quick recap from the auditorium.
Well, it's not very often that two teams are coming off separate double overtime victories, but that was the case here tonight. And you had to wonder who was going to have enough left in the tank. Well, KW quickly answered that when they scored 35 in the opening quarter, 14 of them from Ed Horn, who is playing in just his 4th game back from injury. When St. John's was here a week ago, they trailed by 10, but ultimately kicked off their 4-game road trip with a win. You were wondering when they were going to have that outburst tonight. They got it within 14 a few times in that second half, but ultimately their big guns, Carrington Ward and Monte Brandon, they went 0 for 14 from the field. The Titans, they show off their depth scoring. 6 different guys in double figures. The Titans, they end up winning back-to-back games for the first time this season, and after starting the year 0-3 against St. John's, they finally pick up win number 1 against the Edge.
And then we had a twofer on February 23rd. We begin things with the Halifax Hurricanes playing against the Moncton Magic over at the Avenir Center. It was a game of historic proportions. One player getting a career and franchise high. I wonder who that could be. Here's Adam Gould, the heavyweight voice, and Hoops Tingley, David Tingley, to tell you all about it.
Billy was unconscious from start to finish, and when a guy getting his second triple-double of the year and Jeremiah Morty has to take a back seat, he'll gladly do it every time. He was the guy most waving the fans to their feet at the end of the game. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists for him, but Billy 52, and he was on fire from the start. 18 for 20 from the field, 8 for 8 from 3, 8 for 10 from 3, 8 for 8 from the line. It was tremendous defensively, and Halifax.
That's often the difference is whether you're taking the right types of shots.
And despite everything the Edge did right and the issues that the Storm had, both of these games came right down to the last few seconds. The Storm hung in there and gave the Edge all they could handle.
Yeah, you got to feel a little bit sorry for the Storm or have a little empathy for them because they never stopped competing. They competed hard both games. The first game that kind of came out and gave it a lot of go right from the beginning at the start of the first quarter, start of the third quarter, and kind of petered out as the game went on. Tonight they kind of held it back a little bit at the start, so they had energy for the end, came on hard, but same thing, you know, they had a nice little putback layup that would have tied the game.
Did today, and the big crowd that came out for this game. Just speak a little bit about Carl English and the tribute that the Edge did do for him today.
Yeah, it was great to see. It's an appropriate way for things to wrap up for Carl. He's meant a lot to the province. He's meant a lot to the game of basketball. He's played all over the world, represented his country for 13 years. So to see him be celebrated, to see the fans of Newfoundland be able to come out and let him know that they support him, they appreciate everything that he did, they understand the impact that he's had, not just here, but globally. And even the retired jersey, I thought it was a nice touch by the Edge to kind of list the various places that he's played, and I thought that was really neat, right from Fatima School right down to
From mile one.
That's it for the recaps. Now on we go to the NBLC Players of the Week. And this time around, Billy White of the Moncton Magic has been bestowed with this honor. Averaging 34 points, more on that in just a moment, 7 rebounds, and shooting 45.8% from the field, Billy was able to help the Magic to 2 key victories. The reason why he averaged 34 points per game is because he scored a career and franchise high 52 points on February 23rd against his former team, the Halifax Hurricanes. Put her there, Billy. The Canadian Player of the Week is Kemi Osei of the Windsor Express, averaging 12.6 points, 2.3 assists, and shooting 42.3% from the field. He was able to help the Express to 2 key victories from this.
Lots of guys to watch on NBLC Live.
Okay, what are the highlights? What about our favorite players? What about our favorite team?
This little interesting feature we call NBLC Cuts. Here it is.
We've got another video to come up.
Up to Marcus Lewis, who absolutely wrecks that rim.
Denny McDonald getting one of his first tastes, and as the clock expires,
Ashley rolling to the basket. Ashley with another ash bash.
To Marcus Lewis, to Billy White. Oh, good defense.
By Isom. Still gets it down, loaded tighter.
Hits the front of the rim, but nice take. Back the other way. Kindred from Klink.
Down for 3.
Down below.
And Gaines going coast to coast, finding Moon, and Gaines throws it down.
Over to Jerry Morty. Back to Wayne. And nails the bunny.
Campbell off the glass. Big putback.
100 points on the board.
I dare say we're going to be on the some of these plays today are going to make the cut on NBLC Mix tonight.
Next, and Brown with the steal. And Brown with the finger.
Campbell 1 of 2 from the free throw line on that sequence. And Marcus Lewis for the Magic goes in and throws that down big time.
His first points of the contest. Isom down low to Phillips. Breaks out the hammer.
Down the baseline. No, Johnson with the one-handed putback.
In addition to rest Campbell and Lloyd. Oh, and there's
Moon behind the back dribble on here, and it's denied by Mojo, and Sam Mojo is now the leading leader. And NBLC blocks.
Go, but offensive rebound taken by the Edge, and Broom wanted a foul call there. Lillard will take it in and throw down
back
the two-hander.
the other way. Nice feed in the jam by Marcus Lewis for the Storm.
Stolen away on the pass to Osei. Pass on the fast break. Tap to Johnson. He gets his own tip.
Are you kidding me right now?
Initiates contact again.
Oh, he gets
the bucket. Hooping the harm, and he'll try to convert on the
89-87. Williamson looking to add to his previous bucket. Shot is up. High arc off the glass is good. Back-to-back buckets by Williamson.
That's not on the weekly NBLC highlight reel.
This be Aaron Sanders saying so long from NBLC this week.
Can't wait to see action coming up from Decada Boxing. Love following this group. There's always so many good matches to follow. So that's why we're going to lead into our next segment with this.
This fight is 6 3-minute rounds in the professional 135-pound division. And now, the official fighter introductions. In the blue corner, with a 5-0 professional record, he's 30 years old and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of Calgary, New Mexico. Please in the red corner, with a 9-10-1 professional record, he's 27 years old and stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 134 pounds, fighting out of Culiacan, Mexico. Please welcome Jesus
He has that hometown support.
He does have that hometown support. I mean, you could hear the crowd. He had loads of people here that were coming to see Alejandro Rin fight, and that's just kind of what comes to the territory when you're a fighter coming from another country to fight in someone's backyard.
Good feeling out period.
What I think we can expect to see here is it's a much different fight
Aquella
when it's 6
pierna,
rounds
Chuy.
versus 3. You've got
No
a
te desesperes, Chuy, no te
long
desesperes.
time in
Mira el jab
that
entre el
ring,
pecho y la
and
mandíbula.
both these fighters are very
Y
experienced
finte,
with long
acuérdate, te tienes que
fights. And
pintar. Ahí está, otra vez, finte
Alejandro
abajo
kind of
primero.
described to me that we were going to see a
Finte abajo,
display
chico.
of boxing in its purest form, that this is going to be classic Mexican boxing, a lot of movement, a lot of head movement, huge respect, and punches that are thrown with a purpose.
When you mention those 6 rounds, it does make a big difference because oftentimes in the shorter fights, if you lose round 1, you feel like you have to come out and win round 2. Whereas it's not that important. You can stick to your game plan. Even if you lose round 1 and round 2, you can still come out with a 4 rounds to 2 victory.
See the incredible speed that both these athletes have from the strike to the guard. They strike, they get their hands back up and block their head, knowing that that counterpunch is coming in a very quick, short order.
Good return from Alejandro. He's able to slip a punch and land a right hand.
Cérrate bien porque está esperando que te confíe. No te confíes, Chuy.
And again, another exchange as both fighters land.
Trabaje la finta, Chuy, para que
Great
se vaya
head
atrás,
movement by
hijo.
both fighters. I mean, they're
Trabaje la
coming in,
finta, se va hacia atrás
trying to
solo.
change angles, they're changing levels. They're not just coming straight for the head. You're seeing a lot of movement up and down, trying to change those levels and catch their opponent off guard with their hands down.
Well, and the one thing that you see with Jesus Perez, he does have that reach advantage, so he's starting to throw out that jab. And again, a break, and the boxers almost broke themselves.
Well, they're here to fight. They're here to put on a show. I mean, you've got Jesus, who has fought as many Mexican fighters, incredible tough opponent. I mean, you think about Mario Perez, Rudy Paul, or Roberto Ramirez, who he's fought in Mexico and in Canada. I mean, these are guys that are known as killers in this division, and you know, he's not someone who's not used to some serious, intense competition.
And there's some good timing on the hits from Jesus Perez. Alejandro Ruiz now landing some big shots as both of the fighters exchange. Sorry, make that.
Great step forward with that left hook, trying to catch Jesus to try to counter with his left, see if he can open up that chin.
Good exchange. Not only are they throwing and slipping, but they're also like just to our first 4th round here today. 6 total rounds. A fight that's extremely close to call on every single round.
It's the kind of fight you want to see. I mean, it's great to see the knockouts. It's great to see a one-sided battle to an extent, but seeing two athletes that are so well matched and their skill level is so incredibly high, it takes the tiniest mistake to turn this fight, and really it's going to be one shot that makes the difference.
Well, I believe the power side of things is definitely going to Alejandro Rin, but the volume and the amount of shots that have landed definitely favoring Jesus Perez. And now some call out for the crowd to try and bring out the best of these fighters. And you hear the crowd obliging here as two of these fighters are putting on a show for you here tonight at the Kata Premier Fight Night. Good landing. That's 4 or 5 shots that didn't land clean, but they did land.
Again, Torres with that incredible flurry that he likes to throw when they get in close.
Alejandro Torres ring in the blue trunks. Jesus Perez of Mexico in the black and white trunks.
Both fighters of Mexican descent, but one who calls Calgary, Alberta home. Ooh, that was a left hook that connected.
Big left hook that connects, and then Jesus Perez lands 2 of his own, including a left hook. But again, the power shot definitely belonging to Alejandro Rin.
He's really starting to get his rhythm with those shots, and Perez is not liking when he's connecting with those. I mean, he's showing his tenacity and his skill and his drive, but you can see him wince when he's getting hit.
There's lots of power in the smaller frame of Alejandro Rin.
Ooh, there's another just crushing shot. Flurry to the body, left hook to the head, right hook to the head.
Nice job by Alejandro Rin, not pursuing too hard, because you can open yourself up to eating a counterpunch if you come in too strong. And that's not what he did. He was calculated on all of them, landed some big shots when he was afforded the opportunity, but stayed balanced, was never leaning forward.
Some guys get that hint, that moment of feeling the blood, and they kind of attack like a shark and come fast, but that can have damaging consequences when you have an opponent as skilled as these two guys.
And again, a flurry to end round number 4.
But we still have the 5th and the 6th.
So who knows? Who knows who to call? That's why we just call what we see as opposed to having to judge what we see.
I would much rather be in this position than a judge. I mean, we get to call it as we see it, Jeremy, but as a fight fan, there's nothing more enjoyable than watching these two do what they do. Again, the body movement of Rin is absolutely sensational. I mean, he has yet to have a shot connect and then follows up with that left hook.
That's 4 or 5 left hooks that have landed. There's a right hook that lands and some sweat flies from Jesus Perez. Another right hook that lands and gets the sweat flying.
Oh, they're floating up on that shot. Perez was ready for that one, but if that connected, that would have done some serious damage.
And I think that Alejandro Rin is working to try and take this out of the judge's hands after landing a few shots, and he's saying, no, that's not enough. How about another show here? There's some big shots that have been landed from Jesus Perez, but it's Alejandro Rin who has been doing the majority of the damage by landing these big left hooks and the big right hands.
Perez starting to breathe a little deeper, than he was in the first few rounds. You can see that his hands are dropping a little bit. I mean, those shots are doing damage. With that kind of power, as tough as a guy he is, it does take its toll.
Well, and the one thing that you'll find people talk about coming to Calgary and how difficult it is with the elevation, but Mexico City also very high elevation, so I don't think that's an issue here. I think it's just the power that comes from all these punches coming from Alejandro Rin. And again, look at the big swings that are coming. If he lands with one of those, that's going to be the good night punch. But so far, Jesus Perez has done an excellent job of just avoiding the big shot.
And he's not running away from it, too. I mean, Rin is standing there and trying to entice him into that shot. A little mutual banter between the two of them.
Enjoying themselves in there. Boxing's fun. There's a great left hand that lands stiff.
Very stiff, right on that cheekbone. Be interesting to see as he continues to land in that same area if a mouse is going to start to form under that, that right eye of Jesus Perez.
Another hit to the back of the head. Again, another swing and a miss. These guys are just going for broke here. I think that the uncertainty of rounds 1, 2, and 3 really come into play as you see Alejandro Rin up against the ropes. He's starting to put in 5. That is a loss to your boxer. Both fighters have to assume that their losses in those rounds. So I'm going to assume that, again, both fighters will come out strong in round number 6. Hush falls over the crowd here as they're watching the 6th round. And again, trying to figure out what's going on in this fight as it's been 2 big round wins in 4 and 5 from Alejandro Rin. But now it looks like we've got Jesus Perez who's landing some big shots and showing that any of the big shots are not hurting me at all.
Jesus originally was calling on the crowd for a cheer. He is calling on his opponent, Alejandro Rin, to come forward. And, Alejandro's not getting baited into that, but you can see that little bit of fight desperation is starting to come and show in Jesus Perez's game plan.
And you can see the foot movement of Alejandro Rin. Look at the head movement. That's excellent work by Rin. Able to dodge the way of the 3 big shots and get a few shots on his way in.
It's the perfect balance of art and science. I mean, the science, the mechanics, the organic body mechanics, that boxing is you've seen this incredible display, but the way that these two gentlemen are putting this in, it's like watching a masterpiece at work.
They say it's like a chess match where every time you get a pawn taken, somebody gets to punch you in the face. And that would be a good indicator of kind of what the mental side of this is as both fighters are swinging. There's a big shot there from Jesus Perez. That's the first one that he's landed in this round that's been a big shot. That was a big right hook that landed flush to the head of Alejandro Rin.
I arguably think that's his biggest shot of this bout so far.
There's a nice one return.
Rin returns with that shot directly under that left eye. Flurries to the body again seem to be the story of Alejandro Rin when he gets in close with Jesus Perez.
And that's the 5th flurry that they've had throughout this match, where just several body shots followed with a right hand.
Oh, again, great right hook. As Jesus Perez comes up from that dodge, he ran right into Alejandro's hook.
Nice step forward jab. And again, I'm leaving no doubt in the judges' minds if I'm Alejandro Rin. You don't know what those first 3 rounds were. You got to assume that you maybe won one of them, but you have to consider that winning this round is very important, not giving your opponent any opportunity. They're going to square off for the last 8 seconds. Both fighters are swinging wild. Both fighters are trying to land that big last shot, and that is going to be a fight to the decision as both fighters come together in a corner, and both fighters salute the crowd as they put on one hell of a show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the official decision. The winner by unanimous decision.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to catch us next week on the Coast to Coast Sports Show. Until then, stay safe, coast to coast, C2C.
Wrestling, he is one of the top prospects in the world today and one of the top heavyweights in Canada with Action Wrestling Entertainment.
We went from the Impact division to the complete opposite, as you can see. Adam Knight, well over 300 pounds.
And this guy's no slouch, one of my favorites, the Outlaw Adam Knight. This guy will do whatever it takes to win. He will knock you down, he will keep you down, and he will beat you down and Adam Knight is my pick as the #1 wrestler in AWE.
Adam Knight, he's got the chaps, he's got the hat, he's got the long hair. Adam Knight is definitely an outlaw.
I could tell you some scary stories about this guy. This is not the type of guy you want to sit there and have a beer with. I've seen him slap a fan out, for real. Grab the guy by the throat and knock his teeth out. Why? Because the guy said he sucked. Took it personally. So what's he going to do to Wavell Star? Well, the top Aboriginal star in all of Canada might be wise to not tick off the outlaw Adam Knight.
And here he comes, Wavell Star, one of the fastest rising stars in the business today, obviously in great condition.
I want to take my hat off for a second to the referee, senior referee Kenny Rogers. Wavell Star came running and went right after Adam Knight, and Kenny Rogers quickly asserted himself as the lead official here in AWE, holding them back.
Some people would say Kenny Rogers is the senior official here in AWE.
He is. He's been here the longest.
He's been here the longest. He's by far the oldest member of the crew.
And there is some history about Kenny Rogers I want to touch on. He's a part-time wrestling referee, a part-time bingo caller, and his favorite game is the Blackout. His favorite number is 069.
All right, here we go. The AWE heavyweights are about to lock up. Wavell Star, Adam Knight, and they lock up.
And you see here right away, Wavell Star seems to have the strength advantage, but you can't tell when you look at a guy who's 270 pounds. It takes a lot of strength to carry that weight, so Adam Knight might actually be stronger. It just doesn't look that way.
They're both big.
It's an optical illusion.
They're both big men, but with different builds. Adam Knight is big and bulky. Wavell Star he's cut up, he's muscle, and it's gonna be a back and forth battle. Who knows who's stronger? Only
Both men are about the same height, but I say it's gonna come down to the man who's willing to go the extra mile. I told you a little bit earlier, Adam Knight's willing to slap a fan out. I've seen him kick people in the crotch. I've seen him spit in people's faces. I've seen him poke people's eye out. And I got that on my head today about poking someone's eye out. I might poke your eye out. But I think Adam Knight will go the extra mile to win this match.
Adam Knight already going to the rope, showing his frustration. He couldn't get out of that waistlock by Wavell Star. Some would say a simple wrestling maneuver, and Wavell Star held him in and wouldn't let go. And that's the difference between Wavell Star and any other wrestler here in AWE. Another waistlock. Wavell Star.
Why? Because he won't let go? That makes the difference? Are you out of your mind?
He won't let go. He's persistent. He's going to keep on
it. Most guys who lock the waistlock don't intend to let go.
Wavell Star is more persistent than others, and he's showing it as Adam Knight has to go to the ropes again.
Most guys are going to go to the ropes, right? Have you ever wrestled a match, Wayne?
I have never wrestled a match.
So then don't sit here and try to talk like a wrestler. That's my job.
All right, Wavell Star getting the people behind him.
Let me tell you what the waistlock does. It's a feeling out process. You're not going to go for the submission out of a waistlock.
Wavell Star just might, and he has the ability to.
Hard
shoulder tackle by Adam Knight.
Let me go back to what the waistlock does. It gives you the feeling out process. That's not going to win you the match. It's where you go from there that'll win you the match. And that was an impressive shoulder tackle by Wavell Star.
Adam Knight has not only bailed to the ropes twice, now he's now bailed to the floor. He's getting frustrated. He didn't expect this from Wavell Star.
I think you're underestimating Adam Knight here a little bit, and you're not being really fair. Adam Knight expected Wavell Star to give him a heck of a match. He expected Wavell Star to come out like a house of fire. So right now what he's doing, he's going out to the outside, he's setting his own pace. He's setting the tone of this match.
So what you're telling me is this is his plan all along, and maybe it is. And a big...
I rest my case.
You rest your case. Adam Knight taking firm control of this matchup. He's telling us right now that, it's all part of his plan. He's a smart guy, throwing Wavell back into the ring.
I was saying earlier, Adam Knight's the type of guy you want to go out and have a beer with. I think Adam Knight's the type of guy, he's your backup. You can go and hit on some guy's chick, and the guy gets a little mad. Adam Knight goes in there and cleans house.
I think Adam Knight might be the guy hitting on, the guy's girlfriend. Never mind the one backing him up. And into the corner hard.
And Wavell Star's in a heap load of trouble. His back's in a lot of pain. And Adam Knight's impressing me. He's really picked a part of Wavell Star's body, and he's just working it over.
And he's not letting these people, get to him. He's letting them know he doesn't care.
Wavell Star's an incredible favorite all over Canada. Aboriginal superstar, probably the best Aboriginal superstar since Wahoo McDaniel. And Wavell Star takes so much pride